all looks very energetic, and I bet they eat great food. You'll see why I say that in a minute.
It all looks very energetic.
Doesn't it? The greatest dancers.
What
BBC,
you need...
BBC One
Sorry.
this Saturday. Shh.
You need good... What you need is good nutrition if you're doing things like that, don't you?
Yes. Go on.
Well, no, I'm just trying to tie it in with other things. We're talking about quite a bit about nutrition this morning, and we're going to talk about a little more in relation to sport particularly.
Yes.
What's good to eat if you're involved in sport.
Yeah, we have a brilliant chef here. Something Omar Mezian knows lots about as the go-to meal man, apparently, for many of Britain's best athletes. Excellent.
Teaming up now with James Haskell, you can see as well. Morning, James.
Morning,
how are you both?
Incredibly well, thank you.
The first thing that occurs to me, seeing the two of you together, is something tells me James needs quite a lot of food. I mean, better if it's good quality, obviously, but I'm suggesting maybe you must eat quite a bit, James.
I do, actually, and the good thing is that Omar's kind of been feeding me since I was, in a non-weird way, since I was...
Not literally with a spoon.
Well, sometimes he has, actually. About 25, I think, when was when we started at WAS together. And he was one of the highlights, actually. WAS never had the best training facilities when I played for them. It was always quite gritty, but actually the highlight of coming off the field after a long day slogging it in the mud was Omar's cooking. And, he really understood how to feed people, how to, maximise nutritional impact and get people in, keep... It was kind of a non-brainer to make another book with him.
Omar, tell us some. So you're faced with a rugby team. Presumably, calories are really important, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
But have they got to be the right
somebody
kind?
like James, just he kind of needs to eat a huge amount.
Yeah.
He works incredibly hard on the rugby pitch, and it's
You
about
seen me play recently.
It's about refueling him and making sure that he's got the energy.
And what's the take on from that for more ordinary people who don't have those sort of extremes of physicality?
Well, I think it's just about kind of reducing those portion sizes. An ordinary person, especially this time of year, just doesn't need to eat as much, but kind of if you use our book, as a guide, it's a perfect example of the type of food that James would eat on a daily basis.
James, just talk about nutrition. So it can make you, it can't make you win games, can it? Or maybe it can.
No, I think people eating really well actually, doesn't make you a great, an amazing athlete. I think there's a lot of professional athletes in all sports, athletics, everywhere, who has almost a junk food diet. They've got great genes, they train all the time, they don't actually eat particularly well. Mm-hmm. But the impact of nutrition can absolutely affect your performance. It won't make you into a superstar and it won't make you a world-class athlete. Yeah. But what it will do is help with injury, help with key performance, help with focus, help with concentration, help with sleep, all those bits and pieces. And so many athletes don't do that because while they're training and playing, they can get away with it. And the whole idea of kind of cooking for fitness was not to turn everyone into athletes, was to show good kind of information, really easy to understand, that you could tailor to whatever your goal, because everybody trains now in some form or other, whether it's five-a-side football with your friends, whether it's doing a marathon training,
couch
or whatever
to 5K.
All these kind of things people need to understand, and there is so much rubbish out there. And it's you read about stuff in the papers, you read about stuff on social media. Everyone has an agenda, and everyone is trying to sell people this dream. And what Omar's done, and myself, is to create a book which is healthy recipes. You don't have to go to a witch doctor to get stupid ingredients. They take 20 minutes to make. There's literally no excuse.
It's true, isn't it? Some people you can look at a recipe book, I've done it myself, and you look at the list of ingredients and you can go, I'm going to have to go out to get these things. And that can be a bit intimidating in itself.
Absolutely. I think the idea behind my cooking is the fact that it's kind of everyday ingredients, so you can pop into any supermarket, it will take 5 minutes to buy it, and you can go home, you can prepare those meals in 10 to 15 minutes, and most importantly, you get to sit and eat something that's incredibly delicious.
It is delicious, except the recipe I made today I did not have nutmeg, you see, so,
Oh, dear. Oh, no.
It was good. It was good without. It was a muesli. You have, we want to get a little bit of insight, if you would, because I know that you happen to be cooking for the World Cup team, the England team. So
I was out in Russia for a bit.
Yeah, so what... there's quite a few challenges involved in that, not only getting them on the pitch, right, but what about buying all the food as well? Do you take it with you?
Actually, the standard of food out in Russia was incredible.
Right.
We had no problem in sourcing anything, and it was that it was an absolute pleasure to be out there and cook with those guys out there. That was really good. No, it was an amazing experience and one that I shall never forget.
Do you pre-plan it, or how do you even
Oh
set
God,
about
yeah.
it? Right, okay.
Yeah, there's so much work that goes into it. It's absolutely unbelievable.
What, day by day?
Day by day,
Meal by meal.
months in advance.
Wow.
You know, yeah.
James, can I ask you? You talked about the first 25 years old you were. You probably have a crossover point in sport where people didn't pay any attention to this. I mean, and you can think of it in lots of other sports. I'm thinking of Djokovic in tennis, who's he's the one everyone talks about in relation to how he's changed everything about his diet, his whole makeup. You can probably remember a time when rugby players, I mean, it was just beer and pies, I'm guessing.
I know what you're thinking. I only look about 21, so obviously I'll take it as a compliment. In fact, I think I'm really old. But no, I was actually. But my time in professional sport and rugby actually coincided with the change in nutrition. So I came out of school. I did my last year at school, and I trained at Wasps professionally. Went back, finished school, and then joined back professionally. And at the end of the day, it was people started getting into supplementation. We started having nutritionists, but actually. People still weren't tracking what they were eating, and that's a big thing that's coming. That you've got all sorts of different apps. We recommend kind of MyFitnessPal. Got no link to it. We just find it very useful for tracking your food. And as I've gone through, we've had people like Omar coming in and working with teams. We've had chefs that now come away with us. The boys have got specific diet plans. The focus has gone away from supplements, which is, I think, an easy win for people. Lots of people want. I get messages all the time from young kids and young players saying, "Should I take supplements? I want to take protein powders." It's like, no. We've all made that mistake, but it's actually down to proper food,
Real
and it's
food.
not. And real food and large amounts of it. If you're trying to gain size, which a lot of people do, like a lot of men go to the gym. They undereat. A lot of people want to lose weight, and they're overeating, and they don't know because you don't track what you're putting into your body. So my kind of time within professional rugby has seen all of that dramatically change to where it's still not as you would think it would be. People always ask me, "Oh, do you have a really strict regime?" Yes, because I impose it. When I'm at training, we have great food at Northampton. But actually, no one's got a gun to my head saying, eat this. You've still got choices to make. And some boys in all sports make bad choices.
OK, so we know that Manchester City, Liverpool tonight. In an ideal world, if you were cooking for either team, let's be fair, what would you be giving them for lunch today?
It's a game day.
Yeah.
A huge amounts of pasta, a huge amounts of chicken. Get them fueled for the day.
And do sports people normally eat mostly like sort of the evening game, 7:30 kickoff?
When
They're going to eat sort of at 5 o'clock. What's the thinking around when it's good to?
Generally speaking, we'd eat 3 hours before, wouldn't you?
Right.
So, again, this has changed. So back in the day, you used to eat normally in the week and have a big carb load the night before the game. You sit around, eat your pasta, anything else. I would now eat consistently throughout the whole week, and nothing would be different. However, you'd probably eat 3 hours before the game because you don't want to be bloated, you don't want to overeat. When I first started my career, I could hardly eat on game days.
Because of nerves.
Just nerves, didn't feel a bit sick, didn't want to be really heavy.
Yeah.
Now, I'll eat whatever, relax, because I've eaten consistently through the week. So again, there's different methodologies out there, but I would say normally it's consistency with a 3 hour window beforehand where, as they're getting towards the game, especially rugby players, hydration, supplements, the odd caffeinated drink,
Downside of talking about food.
I'm making me hungry.
Is all I'm doing now. It's just thinking about food.
You can try my birch and muesli if you want you to. There's a little bit left.
It looks incredible, actually.
I'll go and have
Social
some.
media.
It looked better in real life.
Good to see you both. Thank you.
James and
Thank
Omar's
you very
book
much.
is called Cooking for Fitness. Thanks both.
I really am. I'm looking for food.
Didn't quite fill you up enough, did it?